Hello and welcome. Hope you all are having a blessed week and that this lesson I'm about to share will be a blessing to you. It's entitled Know God, Know Yourself. And the key text for this week is Then David said unto the Philistine, You come unto me with a sword and with a spear and with a shield, but I come unto you in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom thou hast defied. 1 Samuel 17, verse 45. This week's lesson is based off of 1 Samuel chapter 17, where David faces off against Goliath. So David was sent by his father Jesse to go check on his brothers who were fighting in King Saul's army, against Goliath the giant and the Philistines. And he had been terrorizing them, and they were all too afraid to come out and meet his challenge to face him. So for 40 days, Goliath challenged the army of Israel for one of the men to come and to fight him. And if he won, then the Philistines would surrender to the Israelites. But if Goliath won, then the Israelites would surrender to the Philistines. And Goliath was a giant who was close to 10 feet tall, so no one wanted to fight him. And David, however, when he was visiting his brothers, heard the giant's taunts, and he was indignant on the behalf of God that this foreigner would insult God, because he was cursing the Israelites and God and challenging them to fight. So he was angered by this, and so he began to look like he wanted to go and fight the giant. His brother, however, was upset at him and reprimanded him for speaking so boldly. He told his brother that it was his duty to defend God. So when King Saul heard about what David was saying, he sent for him, and David said rather that he could go and defeat the giant. Well, King Saul said that he was too young, that he couldn't, but David cited that he had defeated lions and bears when he was caring for his father's flock, and if God was willing to help him in these situations, to protect him from the wild animals, then surely God would protect him now. So King Saul agreed. He tried to give David his armor as protection, but it wouldn't fit him, so he went on without it. He picked up 5 stones and he went to fight the giant. When the giant saw David coming, he was upset that the Israelites had sent a young man to come and to fight him. And he cursed God and he cursed David and he insulted them. And so David, however, stated what we heard in our key text today, that while he was coming in to fight David with a sword and a spear and a shield, David was there in the name of God, and because of his defiance towards God, he would be killed by David's hand, and we all know what happened in the rest of the story. So what I want to focus on is that David was willing to stand up in the face of the giant who was opposing God and God's people. And there was Goliath's downfall when he chose to stand against God, as God is always willing to raise up someone who is faithful to him and will give them the victory over any opposition. So whenever we see giants standing in the way, taunting God, taunting his people, and if it feels like everyone is too scared to do anything or to listen. It's a reminder for us that we can stand up, that God will give us the strength and the victory over it, whatever is in our way, and or whoever is in our way. God has promised to be with us and to give us the strength to overcome. So that's just a reminder for this week that God is with us, and if He is with us, then no one can be against us. Let's remember that, and let's share the good news and not let anything stop us from glorifying God. Let us be reminded of that this week, and that's all I have. I hope that it was a blessing and that you'll enjoy the rest of your Sabbath. See you next week.